Good morning, everyone. It is August the 25th, 2018, and today I'm going to go over some altcoin price charts, but I'm also going to review the fact that altcoins are not the only game in town for increasing your Bitcoin holdings through trading. You can see on the side here I've got a banner up for onefox.io. This is a place where you can go and do leveraged Bitcoin trading at up to 10 times leverage, and I recommend it. Here we have the price chart of Bitcoin over the past 5 years. And if we move this chart back a little bit so that we can go back to some historical data, we can see that after prices went through the roof here in 2013, in November and December of 2013, prices took a long time. 2014 all the way into 2015. So this was a 2-year period from the beginning of 2014 till a year and a half, until the middle of 2015, before prices made these couple really huge lows here and then started on the upward path. And then we saw the massive spike up until 2017, where it was also in November and December. And now here we are in the middle of 2018, only, 8 months later? And everyone's hoping for Bitcoin prices to go up from here. If history is any indication, we're probably going to see a little bit more time before Bitcoin really takes off more. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. And I'm doing all of the work that I can to gather more Bitcoin so that I increase my Bitcoin holdings from now and on forward. So every different little way that I can earn more Bitcoin and put it to work for me, I am definitely doing it. Let's zoom into the 1-year view here. And we can see that by technical analysis, everybody is looking at the bottoms that Bitcoin's made here many different times and hoping that these bottoms are going to hold and we're going to resume on the uptrend. I'm also wanting this. Let me load my Heiken EMA patterns here. Now I need to go back to the Bitcoin chart, go back to the 1-year view. And we can see here that we have the moving averages cross over when prices are dropping, and they stayed crossed over for quite a long time. They crossed over a bit and gave us a teaser, and then down it went again, another teaser, and down it went again. And in the 1-year bar, the daily bar, this moving average has not crossed over yet. So it has not given me a real clear buy signal that this trend is turned around. And again, if we zoom out to the 5-year view and bring this chart back a little bit, we can see that there were a couple really deep capitulation lows before the uptrend started on again. And I am anticipating to see some of those here in the next while before Bitcoin starts taking off. We've only seen a little bit of a dip here, and we haven't seen a real extreme capitulation low recently. And I'm expecting that before I think prices are going to go up. This is my personal opinion. And often I cannot trade by my personal opinion. I have to act by the charts. So I always trade the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. When my moving average crosses over, I take action. Whether I think it's going up or not, this is telling me to take an action. And then when I see the 1, 2, 3 top formation, and especially when the moving averages cross over again, I take another action. In fact, I use the 1-month view and the 1, 2, 3 top formation and this crossover as my exit, and I use the 3-month view, the 12-hour bars, as my entrance. So I look for this 1, 2, 3 bottom and the crossover here. So I haven't seen the crossover yet on the 12-hour bars for me to take an entry position on this, but I will if that chart pattern holds. And then when I am in a position, I'll start watching the 1-month or the 4-hour bars, and I'll look for the 1, 2, 3 top formation and the moving average crossover to get out of my position. So it doesn't take a lot of time to actually do the trading. There's one trade entry here, then there's a trade exit here, and there's nothing for me to do all the way along here but wait and watch. And if I'm jumping in and out of these kind of trading patterns, then I'm always getting myself killed. I'm always losing money when I try to jump in and out of these small short-term patterns. I believe that all these markets are manipulated. There are artificial intelligence bots that are watching all of the order flows, and they can see exactly when to punch things down and when to push things up. And we'll see all sorts of, here's when I zoom into the 1 hour bars, which is way too close to be trading on. This is giving us the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout pattern right here, and all sorts of people got excited and put their money in, and the bots see that and they just crash things down, knowing that at 10 times leverage, this is as much as you can bear before you're getting out. So watch for that manipulation and step back from these charts to a longer term view. Now the next thing I want to go over is the altcoins and take a look at some of those. I always focus on Poloniex just to limit the number of markets that I'm looking at. There are just too many now to be looking at them all. And so I let the guys at Poloniex choose which markets they think are tradable or on their platform at any rate. So at the beginning of August, this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation was looking potentially fantastic. Now, as soon as it breaches, it's time to get out and wait. And it's a difficult thing to do, to take that loss when prices are breaching this kind of formation and just get out and wait. But really, it went from 1,600 down to 1,000, and that's what, a 60%, is that a 60% drop or a 30% drop or something? A very significant amount of money to be holding that, in holding those bags. So instead of holding those bags, it's best to sell out, take the loss, and use your Bitcoin in different ways to be growing the number of Bitcoin you have. The only reason we're trading altcoins is so that we have more Bitcoin. So instead of only trading altcoins, they're not always good to trade, right? We don't have that many leveraged markets where you can go short on these. And going short is always more difficult to do, I think, than going long. So instead, I also trade world markets. So if we go to the trading panel here in One Broker, you can see that I've been trading copper, gold, silver, and I got a good entry on copper down here out of this little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and I put on a 10 times leverage trade, which is up a little bit right now. I also put on some public trades at 1-to-1 leverage, and that's up. Silver trade is up. And I'm practicing my trading system here on the world markets. So if we take a look at silver and look at it over time, we can see that it's making a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation on this weekly chart. And if we go to the yearly chart, it is way at historical lows, at this capitulation low, right at very low prices over the long period of time. And what I do, let me bring this up in a different window so that I can bring it down here now. I use the multicoincharts.com, and I'll change this to silver. Now I have the power to go back into weekly charts and really take a long-term look at silver prices. So it is looking bearish, but it is at the turnaround point where those 1, 2, 3 bottom formations are always so inviting to me. And if I go to gold and switch this to the weekly chart and zoom way out, gold is not as inviting to me as silver prices are. In fact, it does look like it could be on its way down more from here. But we can see a long-term view here from 2001 all the way to 2018. And if I were to draw a line on this chart, it could be that gold prices are on a very long-term upward trend, and this is just retesting these lows on the way up to very much more significant prices. Silver as well, if I take this just a basic trend line, we could be at the very, very bottom edge of where silver prices may be ready to turn around. And this is where I always look. This is where I always zoom into to find out where this chart pattern may be. And of course, as you know, I'm always looking for the, let's go to the 4-hour charts. I'm always looking for that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and the opportunity to buy in. So I'll admit I'm guilty of buying in on this little spot right here on the number 3.1. Here's a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. I was trading it and I got chopped up and cut out and had a couple little losses in there. And then as prices came back here and we're making an internal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation within this larger 1, 2, 3 bottom, I put on a position. And so far it's profitable. And I have put my stop losses up above this entry point. So if we take a look at my trade, I entered at 14,552 and I've got my stop loss at 14.68. So if prices come down to 14.68, I'll be kicked out at a small profit. And that's important. I don't want to lose money. I don't want to lose any Bitcoin. So now there's nothing for me to do but sit on this trade and wait to see if I am correct. And I'll use some of this coin here to add on to that trade if indeed I am correct. So I recommend one broker, and there's a link below this video description, because you can trade Forex, you can trade stocks, you can trade indices, you can trade the commodities that I'm trading. And if you follow the Forex markets and the world politics and stuff, there's enormous amount of money to be made here. Let's go and find the US dollar, US Canadian dollar over the 1-year chart. Looks like an uptrend is on its way. And for most of the economy in Canada, I like it when the Canadian dollar is weaker against the US dollar, so that when I earn US dollars and I turn them into Canadian, I get more Canadian dollars. So not only is it looking like a bit of an uptrend here, it's also making an internal or a potential 1, 2, 3 top formation here, where we see the top and a number. So a breakdown below these levels would mean that it's going the other way. And when you're trading these markets, you can trade up to 200 times leverage. So the markets are not open right now, so I can go 0.08. And at 200 times leverage, that's a crazy amount of money. What, $534 US? Let me grab my phone here, bring up the calculator, say $534 US times 200 leverage equals $106,000 of trading position using that 0.08. So you can have enormous trades here when you're trading the Forex markets. The stock markets, if we say Apple and I go short on Apple, I can only go up to 15 times leverage on this, so it's not nearly as powerful. And Apple certainly at the highest prices it's been in ever. There's tons of different stocks you can be trading here. Twitter, for example. Let's go, I'm looking at the 1-year view, and it made a top formation and an enormous breakdown here. A top formation and enormous breakdown here. Many people are saying that if we go to the indices and we take a look at the S&P 500, it is right at the top of its history right now. Definitely the trend is your friend and the trend is going this way, but I'm watching and watching for a 1, 2, 3 top formation in the S&P 500. And when it does make that top formation, I'm going to go short in this market as a way to grow my Bitcoin. Let's see, I've got $1,400 US here right now, and I'll continue trading these markets. So there's the alternative. You can be trading the altcoins, which we're all in love with and we all believe in, and over time, if we go to the 1-year view and zoom back, many of these markets are at historical lows right now, and I'm watching for that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So if I zoom into this, we can see that through July and at the beginning of August, many of the alts were breaking out of this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Check this out. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. There's our breakout buy signal. And then prices faded back down. So every time you're trading this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, you have to assume that it's going to be a fake out breakout and it's going to be wrong, especially when we're in a downtrend. Same as when you flip it upside down and you're at the top of an uptrend and it's making a 1, 2, 3 top formation, as soon as it breaks below that and you take your entry position, you have to assume that you're wrong and that it's going to be a fake out breakout, which is what I'm doing here in silver. I'm assuming that I'm wrong and it's going to be a fake out breakout from the position that I was in here. So let's go to the weekly view. And so as soon as I have my position into a profitable spot, I'm assuming that I'm wrong and that it's going to be a fake out breakout, and I want to protect my money. I want to get that stop loss up above my entry as soon as I can, so that I'm not going to lose money if it indeed is a fake out breakout and the downtrend is going to continue. Remember, the trend is your friend, and I'm betting against that. But I want to bet against that with the least amount of risk possible so that I grow my Bitcoin and not just gamble it. And so we can go through all of these. Bitcoin Cash also made, it didn't make as strong a turnaround here at the beginning of August, but certainly would fall into the same categories. Where's one that I did last week? Bitmark, I was saying, was looking fantastic. And if we go into the 3-month view, the 1-month view, this is the pattern that I was looking at building up, and I thought this is great, and I actually purchased some, just a few dollars worth, and up it went. And I didn't do anything. I'm still holding on to it. It's still above my entry point. So I'm still holding on to it, expecting that there can be more in the popcorn trading strategy. If you're not familiar with my take on the popcorn trading strategy, go to YouTube, you're on YouTube now, and search for that, the popcorn trading strategy. And I see my realtor Phil has said thank you for doing this. My pleasure. Because this is my trading journal. I go back and I review this stuff to see, was I right? Was I wrong? Was I right? Was I wrong? How can I improve my trading so that I'm going to make more money? I want to be financially successful as much as I was in 2017 when I took $20,000 and turned it into more than $250,000. As much as I did throughout the end of 2017 when I took that $250,000 and doubled it again, made enormous amounts of money, fantastic, more than I've made in all of my life, and I want to continue doing that. And I want to continue doing that without taking up a lot of my personal time. I don't want to work for my money, I want to have my money work for me. The best way for me to do that is to teach other people and to get your feedback, and especially to do this stuff publicly where I have to answer for my own trading and doing my trading according to the way I say I'm going to do my trading. So BitShares, 1, 2, 3, bottom formation, laying lazy. This is one of the most active blockchains out there because there's so many things built on this platform. It's laying along historical lows, very inviting. I'm very happy to have some of this stuff. And I also recommend that you check out the double dipping strategy if you haven't found that in our forums. It doesn't happen very often, but as prices are going up, the leveraged traders on Poloniex start taking short positions, and they use up all of the available coin in the lending markets, and the lending rates go to extreme highs while prices are going up. Paradoxically, when it's time to go short, most of those people stop doing it, the interest rates drop like crazy, and it's time to close your position and sell out and take your profits. And down the markets come. Again, as the markets are coming up, the interest rates go way up high as people are taking short positions, anticipating the market's going to go down. When it does top out, all those interest rates drop off because people they've given up. They think it's going to go up forever, and they stop taking their short positions, and down the markets go. So by watching the lending rates over on Poloniex, let's take a quick look at Poloniex. Go to the lending rates. Let's go to Factum. And I wish there was historical details about the interest rates in Factum just the last short while. Because as Factum made a quick little blip up here, I'll go to the 3-day view, the 1-week view, 1-month view. Here we go. So it made a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. Prices started to break higher, and as they were going up, people were taking all sorts of short positions and drove the interest rates way high on Factum. And then as soon as the prices are coming down here, they've taken their profits and they're closing their short positions perhaps. But now we're inside a larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and you can bet dollars to donuts as these prices go up, the lending rates on Factum, on Poloniex, are going to go through the roof as people are taking more and more short positions. Another example is if we go to clams, look at the interest rates on this now. This is pretty fantastic actually compared to what it's been over the last while. And if we go and take a look at the clam chart, here's why. The prices are going up, and so people are taking short positions. And if we look at this over the long period, it's really not time to take a short position. It's not going to go down much further than where it's been. Here's the 5-year charts. We can see that it's down to historical lows already. Sure, it could go lower than where it is, and it may. But for me, it's time to be buying this coin and putting out for lending and double dipping. You make money as the price of the coin goes up, and you make money as the people who are taking short positions are borrowing your money in order to finance their leveraged short position. And so you make money on your lending, and you make money on the coin as the price is going up. As soon as the interest rates start dropping off and you see this top formation, it's time to sell. It's time to close all the loans and sell everything that you have. So that double dipping strategy it's time to prepare for it, because if you're not prepared in advance, of course, you don't get to benefit from it. So you need to know about it in advance and be prepared in advance. Now I'm going to go and just get off my rant. So there's a couple different things. Just to review, I talked about onefox.io, where you can go and do leveraged Bitcoin trading. I recommend you check it out. Then I talked about One Broker, where you can go and trade all sorts of different world markets. So you're not growing your Bitcoin based just on the altcoin markets. You're diversifying. And then we started talking about the double dipping strategy in the lending markets on Poloniex. And I also talked about the popcorn trading strategy that you can find more about through my video on YouTube. It works fantastically, but you've got to be prepared for it in advance, and then you've got to sit back and do nothing and let the market do the work. So you're not putting time into this. You put in the preparation, and then that's it. You go off doing other things, finding other ways to make Bitcoin, go and do your job, enjoy your life, whatever it is that you do, and you leave your money do its thing. You let the market do the work for you. And because you're not earning dollar per hour, it's not related to time, you really have to let time be not part of the equation and leave the money there to do the work without thinking about when the profits are going to come in. So there's the reviews. Now I'm going to quickly go through some of these markets. BAT, the basic attention token, is something that I just did a post on, intro-to-cryptos.ca/forums. I have a section of information down here where I am gathering details on every one of the coins listed on Poloniex. And so I've done some research on the basic attention token, where you can find it, how it works, where to trade it, where to get social media, and some recent updates on the token. And you can find information about pretty much all the markets that are traded on Poloniex this way. For my own trading, I can't do much with this with just 3 days worth of data. It just doesn't work for me. I really like to have that 3-month chart, and this doesn't give me enough data yet to base any trades on. Maybe there's it's traded on other markets for longer. So if I go to Binance and I try to find BAT versus BTC, then we get some more historical data, and I can actually make a decision. And it's not made the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation turnaround that I'm looking for. So it's still time just to watch it. Here's a good trading pattern right here, back in April and May of 2018. So I'll watch this market, but it's not something I can be trading right now. Let's go back to Poloniex. Okay, so this market, AMP, is definitely not the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Ardor, not doing it. Bitcoin Cash, not doing it. And I've sold every bit of Bitcoin Cash I've ever earned. Never liked it at all. BCN has made some enormous moves in the past, and it's at historical lows right now. It is kind of making a trading formation here, but it hasn't done the moving average crossovers that I like. Really, when I zoom into the 1 month chart, it's looking pretty like it's time to be watching it, but not time to do anything on it yet for me. But the pattern is starting to shape up. Bit crystals, I wish they would take that off this. Bitcoin Dark, another one that has come and laid flat here, and not enough of a turnaround. Bitmark, as you know, I already purchased some of them last week, and I'm sitting on that little holding now. BitShares, we just talked about. I think it's down to historical levels. It's making that potential bottom formation, but I'd have to watch for it to do some strength, give me that moving average crossover before I'm going to take an action on it. And then, of course, I'm going to be assuming that it's a fake out breakout and that I'm wrong in my trade, and I'm going to be preparing to get out of that trade immediately unless it continues to prove me correct. Because we are in a downtrend, and the trend is your friend. Here we are with Burst, and this may have potential in the future. It may have been more of a pump and dump coin, but it does have unique properties. We already looked at Clam and how it may be ripening up for the double dipping strategy. Civic Coin is down to historical levels and making a potential little wee 1, 2, 3 bottom formation there. If I zoom into the 1 month view, we've got a bottom here. We've got some pretty big spikes back here in August, where here's again, there's that potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Everybody got super excited. If you bought in here, you've got to assume that it's going to be a fake out breakout and get prepared to get out of that trade and take your loss. Now again, you can reposition, you can put your money back in, regain those losses as when it's time to do things. Now, I have a personal opinion about Dash and all of the other anonymous coins. I think that they are going to become regulated, and the writing is on the wall already that the people in the know are dumping everything that they have because they know this is coming up. As the Security and Exchange Commissions in the United States is going to, in order to make the rest of the altcoins more viable, they're going to be taking out the ones that take away their control, which is a lot of the anonymous coins are going to be butchered. And that's just my view. And even though I have that view, if this made a really nice 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, I would trade it. I trade against my personal opinion when the price charts say to. So Decreed on the 3 month view, it's not making a nice enough turnaround yet. There's lots of time to be sitting and just watching this. On the 1 month chart, it's starting to look good. We've got a double bottom here, so strength above these levels, above the 0065 would be pretty interesting. And it would make me start watching it in this 3 month view for a bigger, stronger turnaround. And when that actually occurs, I would be purchasing. And you can see here that I would be purchasing, and I would lay out 60% of my purchase into sell orders way above the market for the popcorn strategy. And at the same time, I would be prepared for the fake out breakout, where I would cancel all of my orders and I'd sell everything if that turned out to be a fake out breakout and I wasn't correct. Digibyte, another one that I'm really bullish on. I really like it. And it's got higher lows all the way along here. It's actually diverged from Bitcoin, where other ones have not as much. And now it's making this potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. If I zoom into the 1 month view, it looks even more inviting as we can get a bit of a triangle formation shaping up here. 1, 2, this triangle is looking pretty good. So as this moving average crosses over and it's breaking above this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in this triangle, I would be interested in maybe taking a small position and then adding on to it as the moving average crossed over in a 3 month view. So there's some of the different strategies for approaching this. Doge, I'm a really big believer in as well, strangely enough. But I love this chart pattern. I made some really fantastic gains on this move. I made some fantastic gains on a leverage trading on this move. I made almost a Bitcoin in profits there. And now when we go to the 1 month view, we can see that this moving average is teasing us. It's come pretty close. And we have that same triangle formation shaping up that we saw in Digibyte. So it could be one that when it takes off, it really starts to move. E equals MC squared, not as favorable on overall, but here's that mega long downtrend and a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up here. So we had one in August as well, at the beginning of August, the end of July there. But it didn't turn around, it didn't break out properly on the way down here. So now it's a time to be watching it again. EOS is another one that's new to Poloniex, and I'm glad they have it here. It's been trading on Bitfinex and probably on Binance for a lot longer, and you can find the historical price charts there. And I'm pretty certain that if we were to go to Bitfinex and go to EOS versus BTC and go to the 1 year view, here we are laying along historical lows after this downtrend, and it's making a little wee 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Not enough for me to take an action on, but it's enough to start paying attention. I like this capitulation low that we have here, and should prices start to break above these levels, it would grab my attention. Now, I already have EOS that I've been holding for a long time, and I've just had it out on lending on Bitfinex. So when prices are moving in the direction that leverage traders use that as a loan, I earn more EOS, and I just leave it there. I'm not working it. So I could go through all of these patterns, and it's going to be much the same, exactly the same strategy over and over again. I take a look at the 1 month chart. Is it making that 1, 2, 3 bottom? Are the moving averages crossing over? I go to the 3 month view and I take a look at that moving average. Is it time to be paying attention to this market? No. And if it is making a bottom formation and breaking out, I assume that I'm wrong, and I get my stop loss up above my entry point as soon as I'm profitable, because I want to protect my money. I don't want to lose any money as much as possible. Ethereum, not looking good. Expanse, not looking good. Factum actually has a little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and we know that people are sensitive to it right away. So as the prices are moving up, they're taking those short positions right away. As prices are moving up, they may be doing the same thing again. So I did purchase some Factum, and I put it out for lending, and I'm just leaving it sit there. I purchased that last week. So we'll see what that is. I'm probably at a bit of a loss there, and I'm just leaving it sit. Folding coin flow. Game credits is one that I also figured is going to be building up to a popcorn type of move, but it's fading back now and not much to do in that market. Gas has got a pretty interesting chart pattern here. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, the moving average crossover, and we're looking at the 1 month view, so we're looking at the 4-hour bars. If I look at the 12-hour bars, it's not quite time yet. But when it does move, it makes some fantastic moves. And this is the coin that is powering the network for NEOS, or Neo. And Neo is a platform on which you can create apps. And those platforms like Ethereum, Neo, Lisk, any of these platforms where you can create an app on top of the platform, I think these tokens are going to be worth an enormous amount of money in the future. And so I do have a good bit of Lisk, and it didn't make as nice of a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here that I like to look for, but the moving averages crossed over, and time to be watching it more. MadeSafe coin, I've always been a big fan of. Even when it broke this trend line from a 1, 2, 3 top formation and the moving averages crossed over, I still held my MadeSafe coin, which is imprudent according to my own trading signals. And of course, hindsight gives us to it clearly, but I'm still holding on, because if I go to the 5-year view, we are at very historical low levels, and I do believe that when this network is launched, it's going to be worth my while. Litecoin is another one that I'm investing in as much as I can. As soon as I get some Canadian dollars in one of my referral programs, I buy Litecoin with it. And I've been slowly stacking up on that. So I could go on through all of these markets and take a look at them, and I'm saying the same thing over and over again, where we're hitting 1, 2, 3 bottoms. It's not time to buy in yet. It's starting to shape up, but not yet for me. And that's why at the beginning of this video, I talked about trading world markets in addition to trading the altcoins. So you can find the link to one broker down below this video. You can find the link to onefox.io, because I do believe that if we go to Bitfinex and we look at Bitcoin US dollar prices, I'm hoping that it's going up from here. This is a nice bottom formation, and it could be the turnaround point. It's laying along such important historical levels all the way along here. And yet, if we go back to what it's done in the past, in the last 5 years, we can see that it took 1.5 years for this to turn around before the next uptrend went up. And that was after 2013 to the middle of 2015, almost the beginning of 2016. And so it may be that it's going to take longer yet for this to flatten out and to change momentum. It may be the middle of 2019 before that actually happens. And so then you can trade Bitcoin long or short by using OneFox. And that's why I bring this up. So that's it for today's video. I hope this has answered some questions and given you some insights as to where the alts are, how you can trade Bitcoin, whether it's going up or down, and how to trade some world markets in addition to the altcoins so that you are profiting and building the number of Bitcoin that you have over the next while. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate having you guys along here. I'm honored and humbled to have people come along and that my work actually helps you. In closing, I'd like to let you know about the free training over at introdocryptos.ca, or you can go to digitalcurrencytraders.com. You can register for free here. Click here to get started. Read more about what other people have said about the courses. And what you can do is have the first 3 parts here completely free. So you get the micro steps to earning serious wealth with cryptocurrencies, and that teaches you how to think about money, which is so critical. Then the ways I make Bitcoin residual income, and I show you how with one broker, let's go to my referrals area, I've made 10.34 Bitcoin in referral fees, which is $69,000 US at today's prices. So that's just one of the ways that I make free Bitcoin, and it's not the only way. And I take that money and I grow it as much as I can. And I use the third strategy here where I earn daily interest from dozens of different cryptocurrencies, and it takes no time. There's no risk in it. I can just slowly let that stuff build up while I'm doing other things and earning more coin. If you take all 3 of these courses, you get the book for the cryptocurrency trading course and community completely free. And I give it to you free because I want your success. And it doesn't cost me anything for you to be successful. And so I give away that book for free there. Let me scroll back down there. But if you're wanting more and you want to learn more about the cryptocurrency trading course, then you can become part of our family. And you can get all the details here in the course. You get instruction that goes along with it. And you can learn everything that I'm teaching in a much more detailed way than I go over in these videos. So again, thanks for stopping by. I'm grateful to have you here. Be sure to register for the free courses. And if you like them, there's a referral program inside. If anybody purchases the paid course, you get 30% of that fee, which is $135 worth of cryptocurrencies. So I provide you with yet another way to earn free Bitcoin, in addition to providing all this free training. Thanks again for watching all the way through, and I appreciate any follow-up and any kind of questions you may have. Cheers.